Welcome guys. In this lesson we are just going to focus on question 1 and 2 from science paper 1 for the year 2023 for the internals, and these two questions are coming from section B of the same paper. So question 1, figure B 1.1 shows a stopwatch before and after it was used to measure a physical quantity. So the first diagram here, we are told is before the measurement was done, then after the measurement is done, then we can see that there was some reading that occurred. Now let's look at the first question here. So the first question is what physical quantity does the instrument measure? So this measure time. So that's our answer for the first part. We move on to question B. What type of error is shown on the instrument? So in our every activity or experiment that we do, there is a likely that we can make an error. Now there are about 3 types of errors and so many examples of errors. Some of these errors may due to the malfunctioning of let's say an instrument. Then some of these may just be random errors, and we also have some errors that may be because of an individual is not doing an experiment in a right way. Now let's look at maybe an example. Let's say we have a beaker and we have water. So if you want to look at the volume of water, this is the normal pointing of the observer. So the observer should be here. Now what happens if the observer is observing from this angle, or sometimes the observer is observing from this angle? So this type of error is what we call the parallax error. So the parallax error is the type of error where the observer is at a wrong observation or at a wrong angle. Because of that, that person is likely to get the wrong readings. Now, the error that we are dealing with here, if you look at the question, is what type of error is shown on the instrument. So if you look at the instrument, what was the error from this instrument? So the error is that before the readings, this arrow was supposed to point as at this point. So we were expected to have the 0. So that was the error that was here. So it simply means that there were some readings before the experiment was done, or before the quantity was measured. So the answer that we are going to put at this point is 0 error. Now 0 error can be positive or negative, depends. So if the value is greater than the true value, then we have a positive 0 error. If it is less than the true value, then we have a negative 0 error. Now from the question C, determine the error shown on the instrument. So let's look at where this line is pointing. So we have 5, 6, 7, 8. So it is pointing at 8. So we have a positive 8 0 error. So we'll say 8 seconds is our error. Then what of question D? Give the correct measurement of the quantity the instrument measures. So it is seconds. So we are done with this question. Let's move on to question 2. So under question 2, excuse me, we are given a speed time graph, and this graph tells us how speed changes over time. So the question reads, figure B 2.1 is a speed time graph of an athlete in a training session, right? So if you look at this graph, at 3 it's where it's starting, then this is where it is turning to the right. Now let's look at the first question. So the first question was, what was the initial? So the initial is where the person was starting, or where the line is touching the y-axis. So we can see that the initial point is 3. So this is how you get your initial. You just have to look at where the line is starting from. So this is our final answer for the first one. So initial is equal to 3 meters per second. Now what of question B? So question B, what was the maximum speed of the earth with T? Maximum is the same as the final speed. So the final speed will be gotten from this point. So say final. Now to get a final answer, you need to draw a line parallel to the x-axis. So we can see that it is reaching the x-axis at 5. So our final velocity is equal to 5 meters per second. Now question C is calculate the uniform acceleration of the earth with T. So acceleration denoted by small letter a is equal to final minus u over t. So initial is 3 meters per second, final is 5 meters per second, but we need to get time. So if we go back to this graph, so the initial is starting from here. So if we go down, this is 0. Then where is our final? So this is our final. So we're going to draw a vertical dotted line. So we are cutting the x-axis at 5. So it simply means that from 3 meters per second to 5 meters per second took 5 seconds. So that's our time. So we'll say final velocity is 5 minus initial is 3 over 5. So if you say 5 minus 3 will give us 2 over 5. Then if you divide 2 by 5, you get 0.4 meters per second squared. So the units for acceleration is meters per second squared. Now question D is about the total distance run by the earth with T. So if we go back to our graph, how can we find the total distance? So we need to look at the shape that we are going to have for this one. So let's see. So this is the starting point. Then the graph is ending. The graph is ending at so 5, 10, 15, 20. So since the graph is ending at 20, then if we were to draw the line, so the line will end at here, since this is where the line is ending. So now what shape are we dealing with here? We are dealing with a trapezium. So the trapezium, we need to find the value of A. So the value of A is this distance on top here. Then what of the value of B? So the value of B is this one. Then our height is this one. So let's now look at the formula. So the total distance is, we just answer it here. So total distance is equal to half is equal to A plus B multiplied by height. So half, what's our A? So A, we need to move in the x-axis. So we are reaching the x-axis at 5. Now we go back. The line A is ending at this point. So if we draw, where are we reaching the x-axis? So we are reaching the x-axis at 20. So we need to find the difference between 5 and 20. So the difference is 15. So you just say 20 minus 5. So our A is 15. What of our B? So the B is starting from 0 up to this. Since we are dealing with this point here, this is our B. So B is equal to 20. Now what of our height? Height, we are starting from here up to here, which is the difference between 3 and 5 is just 2. So we can just cancel 2 here, we cancel 2 here. 15 plus 20 is 35 meters. So this is our distance. So this is how we can answer this question. Please subscribe, share with friends, and also if you want online tuitions, please, you are free to join our group. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.